Mayor de Blasio, tonight you went after some of the corporate donors, and you went after them very aggressively. Just recently, Joe Biden went and asked a Republican billionaire for money. He was rejected. Do you think that it was wrong of him to ask?
Yeah, I mean, we've got to get real here. Joe Biden has bigger problems than asking the Republican billionaire for money. But on top of that, he's got to realize that this is not the party of billionaires. This is not the party of the donors anymore. We've fought a lot of battles in this party to say to the DNC and everyone else, we're not doing that anymore. And, there was a really painful article I read about Joe Biden having a big fundraiser in New York and reassuring these wealthy donors that, quote, nothing would fundamentally change under his leadership. Well, what I think people in this country want to hear is that a lot's going to fundamentally change, that this is going to become a country that's more fair, that's about working people. That's not going to be a country that so many people are struggling to live in, no matter how hard they work. So, no, I think we got to make a clean break and be really clear who we are. And I think tonight was about that. I think tonight was about the heart and soul of this party. And I'm very, very comfortable that I said, look, we got to be one thing. We're about working people, and if we're not about working people, then get ready to lose again.
Do you think Joe Biden made the same mistake as Hillary Clinton by basically being in favor of the status quo, and that's maybe the only way to lose to Donald Trump?
I believe that's exactly right. I mean, and I respect him, I respect his service, but I have to say, there are so many ways he's sending a message that the status quo will continue under Joe Biden. And here's my fear. If you defeat Donald Trump, but you don't defeat Trumpism, we have a big problem in this country. Just having a president who's not Donald Trump's not enough. We've got so much we need to change. And that whole conversation about James Eastland, it wasn't just about conversations that happened decades ago. It's about whether you understand how much this country has changed and how much we need to change. And my problem is that Biden sent a message with that story that, he longed for the civility of the past. That civility created the broken status quo of today. That civility left out people of color, left out working people, left out women, and we cannot continue it. So no, if we're the party of the status quo, that's Donald Trump's best day possible.
What do you think was the defining moment of tonight's debate?
Oh, look, I saw a lot of different things, but I think at the beginning what I tried to do is say, hey, come on, healthcare is the number one issue. That was certainly true in 2018. Let's stop playing around. We're either for change or we're not. And if you start praising the private insurance system that has robbed people blind, then you're not for change. So we have to at least have a decision on the stage, like who's for real and who's not. I tried to make it really clear I'm for real. I'm ready for big changes.
Well, when you two raised your hands, you and Elizabeth Warren, to me it seemed like it was a big, big moment when you guys distinguished yourselves. I noticed every other reporter was asking you, how could you possibly get rid of the whole private insurance industry in the case of healthcare? I remember when this country had privatized fire departments.
Yeah.
Would you be in favor of getting rid of privatized fire departments as well?
Well, I'm not an expert on fire departments, but I can say we have a public fire department in New York City. It's considered the best in the world. And look, I think there are so many things where we can make big changes. We can show people there's a better way of doing things. I mean, look, I'm a child of the New Deal. My family went through the Depression and suffered, and they knew that Franklin Roosevelt and his administration was on their side every step of the way. And I learned from that. And I believe that we can do amazing things, and we can actually unite people when we do those big things. So I'm really hopeful about what can be. But it's not going to happen if we're talking about, little small steps. It's not going to happen if we're afraid of our shadow. That's what too many Democrats and progressives have been, afraid to be bold. We actually can get to an insurance system that's public and can work for everyone. It's not going to happen overnight, but we can get there.
Some people thought, last question, some people thought you won the debate. Who do you think came in second?
I like the way you're framing the question. I'll accept victory. Look, I'm not here to grade people, but I think the candidates who are unwilling to take a bold stand, they set themselves back. Thanks, man.
Thank you.